Okay, welcome back to our series. As we've started with the financial accounting, past question 2000, the section A of paper 2. Okay, so we are done with the question 1. We are moving on to the question 2 of the section A part of paper 2. Okay, and the question 2A says that we should differentiate between adjustment and closing entries. Okay, and the marks allocated for that is 3. So we have to differentiate between the two. So let's see what we can do. Okay, so I've copied the question here, is the same thing. So if you don't have the question in front of you, you can just pause the video and write it. Okay, so the question says we should differentiate between adjustment and closing entries. What is adjustment? You know, in accounting we follow certain rules and principle in recording transactions. Okay, and one of the rules that we follow is the accrual concept, which says that the account or the final account should contain information relating to a specific accounting year when it comes to the profit and loss account. Okay, so the profit and loss account should contain the information relating to that specific accounting year. So if you are in 2008, then information relating to 2008 should be presented on the profit and loss account. Nothing more, nothing less. So any information relating to either the previous year, which is 2007, or the coming year, which is 2009, should be excluded from the profit and loss account for 2008. So with the help of that, then at the end of the year, if the accountant is going to prepare the profit and loss account or the final account, then there are certain workings that it should do on the item presented on the trial balance. Okay, so when you say adjustment, an adjustment is a working that we do on the item presented on the trial balance, so that the profit and loss account for the period will contain only the information relating to that specific year in question. Okay, so an adjustment is a workings on the items on the trial balance, so that the final account, which is the profit and loss account, will contain only information relating to that specific year in question. Okay, so for example, some of the workings that we can be thinking of is prepaid expense. Okay, so we do some workings on prepaid expenses. Okay, so some of the workings that we do: prepaid expenses. Then we can talk of arrears. Okay, so these are some of the workings that at times we do when it comes to preparation of final accounts. And that's why in the question given, when you are preparing profit and loss accounts, normally you will see an additional information. So the additional information will help you to do some of these adjustments. Okay, so when you say adjustment, an adjustment is workings that we do on the item presented in the trial balance, so that the final account, which is the profit and loss account, will contain the information relating to that year in question. I hope you are good on that. Now let's come to the closing entries. Okay, the closing entries. So as I said, we prepare accounting information within a specific year, normally within 12 months calendar date. Okay, so from January to December is 12 months. So one of the examples that I can talk of is from January to December. Other companies, they use different accounting year depending the jurisdiction that they are operating their business, okay? But the common one that we use is from January to December, unless the question say otherwise, okay? So pay attention to that. When you say cruising entry, the cruising entry has to do with, so as I said, we have to move on from one accounting year to the next accounting year. So from 2007 to 2008. So at the end of the 2008, the balances existing in the books of the business should be carried forward to the coming accounting year, or the information in the trial balance, the balances that you see in the trial balance should be carried forward to the coming accounting year. So when you say cruising entry, they are the entries that we make, or the passing on the balances existing in the books of the business from one accounting year to the next accounting year, and it is done at the end of the period, at the end of the business, okay, with the help of a journal. So we use a journal to pass on the cruising entry from the current accounting year to the coming accounting year. So cruising entry has to do with passing on the balances existing in the books of the business at the end of the period to the coming accounting year, okay? So some of the example that you can think of here is maybe passing on the existing balance of fixed assets, say land and building, fixed assets, to the coming accounting year, okay? So here you can talk of maybe land and building, okay? So you can talk of land and building. So the balance existing in the books of the business, we pass it on to the next accounting year. So if you are in 2007, then we pass it on to 2008. So, and it is done at the end of the accounting year. So the terminology that you have to, the key word that you have to bear in mind is done at the end of the period, okay? So it is done at the end of the accounting year, at the end of the year, okay? So here the example that we are using will be, so it will be done at the end of 2007 to 2008. Then with the help of what? Journal. So we use journal to pass on the closing entry, okay? So this is the suggested answer that you can give, and you have to make sure you give example like how I've shown you on the screen, okay? Not as presenting in this way, but the examples that you can use when you are writing your answer, okay? And the marks here is for 3, so 1 point or 1 explanation go for 1/2, okay? So maybe if you don't give example, you might lose the half of the mark, okay? Or the half of the mark given. So you have to make sure that you give explanation to that. Then when you are done with the explanation, you give an example to whatever that you've written to back your answer, and the examiner will not hesitate to give you the full mark, okay? If you have any question, kindly let me know. Leave them in the comment section. And you have not subscribed to the channel, kindly do it for me and press on the bell icon so that whenever we upload a video, you get a notification for that, okay? And if you have any specific question that you want me to solve, you can WhatsApp it to me by using the number on the screen, okay? And I will be excited to help you out. Or if you have any suggestion, you can also let me know through the same channel. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the upcoming series.